One sec. Oh, there we go. I wasn't sure if we had sound. You know, it's always like, will this whole live thing work today or not? I don't know. Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. I'm Bev McCullough of Flamingo Toes, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys. It's been a few weeks since we've had a live video. I've missed hanging out with you on Mondays. And we have a very long stretch of Mondays ahead of us together, which is awesome because we have 2 sew-alongs back to back, and then I'm sure we'll start something pretty soon after that, after the summer. I just don't have it on the schedule yet. But anyway, I hope you guys have had a great, March, I guess. It was very busy around here. I will tell you all about it as we go through the video, but excited to hang out with you guys again. Hope you are all doing well. We are diving into our Vintage Stars quilt along, which is the quilt behind me here on the wall. We're partnering with Happy Little Stitch Shop for this one. Angela is fabulous, and I'm going to tell you all about her as well. Well, I don't know all about her. Angela can tell you all about her. But we're going to talk about things you can find in her shop and how great her shop is as the video goes on too. But I want to say hi to some people. Ruth said she's excited that I'm back. She's been going through withdrawals. Awesome, Ruth. Thank you. I missed you too. Dawn's here and Wendy. Deneen is here. Melissa, Dolores. Missed you too, Dolores. Let me get Zakia? Zach, I don't know how to say your name. I hope I didn't say it wrong, but it's a beautiful name. Welcome from Michigan. Judy's here. Dawn says it's snowy in Minnesota. I'm sorry, Dawn. I won't trade you for that. We have a ton of wind today. I think we're under a wind advisory, whatever that means. But for the most part, it's quite lovely here in Tennessee. So I think I'll stick to my wind over your snow, Dawn. Rebecca's here. Leslie, Christine. Oh, Dolores, missed you. Allison's here. Oh, and Rebecca said Vintage Stars is one of her favorite quilt patterns. Thanks, Rebecca. And Dolores is excited about the Sweet Freedom panel. We're going to talk about that too. So today we're going to just dive into all things Vintage Stars. I'm going to go over schedule. We're going to talk about the things that you need. And then we'll talk about a few extra things to go with Sweet Freedom. I'm going to show you the Sweet Freedom fabrics. That's kind of hard to say fast. And we're going to talk about that as well as our $5 pattern of the month. And of course, we'll have our giveaway. And I'm going to announce the giveaway winner from our last week in the Tea Party sew-along, which was our last sew-along like a month ago. It was so long. So I hope that you are excited about our new sew-along and are ready to dive in. This is a really fun quilt to make. It's got a vintage vibe, but it's, I promise, a lot easier than sewing it the older traditional way, which was a lot of Y seams coming together. We're not going to have to worry about that because of the way this quilt is assembled. If you've never worked with templates before, this is, we're going to walk you, I'm going to walk you through that. Next week, we're going to talk all about cutting and everything like that. So it's going to be super fun, and I hope you can join in. Oh yay, Leona's here, excited. Allison's got a stacker and panel ready to go. Zakia said I said her name right. Thank you. Good. Deborah's here from Georgia. And Lisa says it's windy in Texas too. Love it. I'm not a wind person. I don't know. It's just never. I would rather almost anything else. I would rather it be hot than windy. And that's saying a lot. So I grew up in Arizona. Not my idea of a good time. So let's talk about Happy Little Stitch Shop. This is a quilt along that's in partnership. So Angela and I wanted to do something together, and we came up with using one of my patterns and then Sweet Freedom. So this is kind of just something we're running on our own. It's not kitted up from Riley Blake. Angela did have a lot of the Vintage Stars kits. Hopefully you guys got kits from her for this sew along. If not, She has a little box on the, so I have linked in today's video description to her shop and all the Sweet Freedom things she's got. She's got fabric, pre-cuts, yardage, she's got patterns, she's got the Vintage Star pattern and templates. So you can pick up all the supplies if you want, or whatever supplies you need. If you want to use a little bit of your stash and supplement, if you want to sew along with just your stash, that's totally fine too. But definitely check out Angela's shop. If you haven't ever shopped at Happy Little Stitch shop before, she's amazing, you guys. She has such a great variety of things. She's got all kinds of fabrics and quilt kits and cross stitch. She's got crochet yarn, everything that you would need. And one of my favorite things about her shop is that she does these live videos. Well, she has a lot of lives throughout the week for different things she's working on, so you can definitely follow her on YouTube. So if you go to the link to her shop and then find her YouTube link, usually all websites have, you link to social media on there. So follow her on YouTube. But she also does this really fun thing when new fabrics are being released. So she'll do a new Riley Blake release party or Moda release party, and she'll show the new collections coming out, and people can express what they would like her to carry. If there's a quilt kit that quilt pattern that they really love, she'll get kits made up for you. She's really super personal that way. So if you haven't visited Angela's shop, definitely give her a follow on social media. Heart her shop, in your browser or whatever, so that you can find it when you're looking for things. I think she probably still has some fun tea party things if you're wanting to check out afternoon tea. So definitely give Angela a visit, okay? So I think she's going to sew along with us. I haven't gotten 100% confirmation on that, but yes, so lots of fun things. And if I also have in my shop the templates and patterns someone was asking there, and we're going to talk about that today too in a little bit. So just wanted to make sure you guys visit Happy Little Stitch shop before we dive into all things Vintage Stars. So Vintage Stars is the quilt behind me. This one's actually not quilted yet. It's just sewn up. So next week it'll be quilted and you'll be able to see what it looks like all quilted up. But this is just the top right now. So you can see it's kind of based on a vintage 6-point star, but they did everything by hand back then, and we're not going to do that because that's crazy town. And then, so all the fabrics are Sweet Freedom fabrics, so it's a really fun patriotic version of this quilt. But if you want to sew along, you do not have to use patriotic fabrics or Sweet Freedom. You can just grab whatever you'd like. It's perfect for 10-inch stackers, or you can use whatever you want in your stash. We'll talk about cutting next week, so I'll give you some more tips on cutting things out, but definitely feel free to sew along with whatever you would like. And then also I wanted to mention the background is one of my new Dainty Daisy low volumes. So it's the Barn Red on Cloud. So it's like a red on kind of a creamy white background. So it looks really fun there, and that gives you an idea of what the quilt looks like, with just a little bit of something interesting going on in the background in the way of the low volume. So let's go over schedule real quick, and we'll start there. Okay, so here's our schedule. We are kicking off today, obviously, and then next week, April 1st, no joke, we're going to go over cutting these pieces out with our templates. So we're going to talk about if you are just using the pattern and you have the paper templates, we're going to give tips on that. Or if you want to pick up the acrylic templates to make things even easier, I'm going to talk about that. So just some tips and tricks on how to cut out and mark. We're going to do a little bit of marking on some of our pieces to make assembly even easier. Then on April 8th, we're going to go over sewing the rows together. This quilt is assembled in rows, not blocks. So if you've never done that before, I'm going to walk you through that. It's really fun and easy. Then on April 15th, we will sew all of our rows together for our quilt top. And then on the 22nd, we'll talk about borders and finishing. This is a pretty quick quilt to sew together. So, but if you get behind, as always, the videos will stay available for you. So you can access them whenever you'd like. Pattern. So the pattern is called Vintage Stars. That's what we're making today. And Wendy says she can use tips on the acrylic templates. I got you, Wendy. We're going to hook you up next week. It's going to be very fun. And by the time we're done, you're going to feel like a super template pro. And you're going to go, why didn't I do this before? So this is the Vintage Stars quilt pattern. This was my original version. And on the pattern, it shows it made up in an older collection of mine, Singing in the Rain, from a few years ago. Were you guys around during Singing in the Rain? Did anybody sew up the Singing in the Rain row quilt? That was my first, I think it was during COVID, which I hate to reference COVID, but I think it was. And I think that was one of my first live sew-alongs. So if you were around, raise your hand. Let me know if you joined in the fun. Hey, Nandy, welcome from Florida. Glad you're here. So this is the quilt pattern, and I walk you through, of course, just like all of our other patterns, how to do it. There is a little coloring page in the back if you want to color in your designs. And with the pattern, comes the paper templates. These are the templates that you'll get. So next week, again, we'll talk about how to cut out the pieces of this quilt. It's not cut out traditionally in that you're not cutting out certain size, 2-inch by 5-inch squares or anything like that. Everything is cut out with the templates. So we're going to talk about paper templates, but I also have these vintage quilting templates. They are a half hexie and triangle templates that are the exact same size. Let's open this up. As the templates in the booklet, but they are made out of acrylic. I am just butchering the cover of that quilt pattern. So here are the templates. They're wrapped in a little bit of plastic. So if you picked up the templates, make sure you take off the plastic. I don't know if you guys can see, there's a little bit of plastic coating around the outside. So you'll want to take that off before you start cutting. Otherwise, your piecing isn't going to be 100% accurate. So there's a half hexagon and a little triangle, and they're pink. So that obviously makes them better than other templates, right? Because if you can make something pink, why wouldn't you? So these are the templates that are available to use, and we're going to talk about this next week as well. So if you want to check out mine or Angela's shop for the pattern and the templates, you can do that if you are not working with a kit or if you want to join in with us and sew along. So you will need that, and then you will need some fabrics, and I have on, let's see, you will need, so there are, sorry, hi! You can sew along with a 10-inch stacker if you would like. You can use a 10-inch stacker for the prints, which are the star prints, or you can use a 10-inch stacker for the background if you want to pick up like a white 10-inch stacker or something like that, or you can use yardage. All that information is on the back here. And you will need a little bit of extra fabric for the triangle points, which on the quilt behind me are like these light blue points right here that kind of bring the stars together. So you'll need a little bit of yardage for that. And then of course your background yardage. And on the back of the pattern, it does go through like how many 10-inch pieces you'll need, or if you want to cut them out of fat quarters, you will need, a certain amount of fat quarters as well. So all that info's on there. So you can grab through your stash, or you can pick up a bundle of Sweet Freedom and, just mix and match from there. Or if you have the kit, Angela provided you all the fabrics that you'll need in her kit as well. So if you guys have any questions about that, holler. And so then we're gonna just start next week with our cutting and everything like that. It's gonna be really fun. So I wanted to show you some of the prints from Sweet Freedom so that I can show you, we haven't really had like a big interest video on Sweet Freedom. So I want to show you those and kind of go over all the different prints so you can see what you'll be sewing with and hopefully get you even more excited about the sew along. So let's do that. I want to make sure I haven't missed any questions. Leslie, Singing in the Rain is how she found me, her favorite. Oh, I love it. Deneen says she wasn't here then, but you're here now. That's perfect, Deneen. I'm very glad you're here now. Dawn said she bought the pattern a while ago and happy to make with the new fabric. Singing in the Rain was before her. Love it. That's okay. Vicky's here. Missing you too, Vicky. Okay, so you guys ready to look at all things Sweet Freedom? I have a group of gosh, it's a half-yard bundle, which I have in the shop as well. So let's dive into the bundle and then you can see the different prints up close, okay? Are you ready? So here is the stack. This is a big stack. It looks enormous because it is a half-yard bundle. So obviously those always look super tall. And it's not very organized. It's organized by color, but I'm gonna try and kind of sort through these so that I can go in order here. So I want to show you guys the main. Now for vintage stars, because I'm using a light background quilt, a light background, it's been a month since I did a video, you guys. My tongue is clearly not part of the party today. So we will, just bear with me. So I'm using a light background fabric, so I want to make sure my stars and the points contrast with that light background. So there are several low volumes in Sweet Freedom that we can use in other quilts, but we want to probably stay away from them with this particular quilt because we really want those star blocks to pop. So if you have picked up a Sweet Freedom Fat Quarter Bundle, you can kind of pick and choose what fabrics you would like. But for this particular quilt, if you're using a light background, stay away from these low volumes. But I wanted to show them to you anyway, because we'll be using them on our next sew along. But there is a little bit of sparkle in, you can kind of see the sparkle there in Sweet Freedom, which I love. And the other thing I love about Sweet Freedom is it has a lot of florals. So I love patriotic fabrics. I think they're really fun, but they're not always pretty. And I don't mean that in a mean way at all. I mean, they're very patriotic, right? But I wanted something that would fit with my home and aesthetic. So I wanted something that was just a little bit more feminine. So I wanted to make sure that with Sweet Freedom, I included a lot of florals. So I hope you guys like that too. So here is the main. It's a light background, has these pretty red, white, and blue flowers. There's just the tiniest hints of some pinks in some of these prints, but I think that makes it more fun. So let me find the other colorways. The main also comes in this pretty red, and these reds aren't going to show up super perfect on camera, but you can see the red there. And then the main also comes in this is my favorite. Look at this navy, you guys. Here's the navy. I'm going to open it out so you can see it a little bit. Look at that. Don't you love that? I really like how this one came out, and you can kind of see the gold. It's a little bit hard to see again on the camera, but the outlines on the red flowers are gold, like a gold shimmer. And there's even some little like gold detailing alongside the flowers. So here's the navy print. And then we also have some small florals in this collection. So there's a navy with these little like pretty daisies, and a red, and a white. Oh, I have more than, yes. So that's the small floral. It's really fun. So let me move those to the side. And then we're going to dive into some of the others. So of course, to go with patriotic, we had to have some little flags. These are multi-directional, so you can put them in your blocks, but you don't have to worry a whole lot about which direction your block is going. So those come in white and navy and this pretty red. We have a lot of red, white, and blue in this. So we have some little flags there. We also have some lighter blue fabrics, and I don't know if you can tell against the white background of this, but this is a light blue, and there's a really cute little pinwheel with some just subtle shading behind it. And it's a little bit hard to tell until you get pretty close. I don't know if it'll get close enough, but there's some kind of little stitching around the red portion of the pinwheels. So we have pinwheels in this pretty blue. We have navy pinwheels. There you can see the stitching and the details a little bit better. And then we also have, what color other pinwheels do we have? I have many fabrics here. We have duplicates. Let me find the other pinwheels. Oh, we have white. So we have white and navy blue, and then this kind of pretty pastel aqua blue. So those are all of our pinwheel colors. And then one of my other favorite prints is the barn print. So this has some really pretty, like, Sweet Freedom, kind of nodding at Sweet Acres, which came out last year, barns, and they're really, really cute. They all go different directions, but you can fussy cut these, or you can just leave them as they are if you want to. And then there are fireworks around. And of course, a few have vintage trucks too. So this little guy has a pretty vintage truck. And if you're familiar with my needle minders, you probably recognize some of these. I have a red barn, I have a patriotic vintage truck, and then we have a brand new blue barn as well. So this, and of course, all the barns have little barn stars on them, because I live in the South, and my favorite barns are the barns with the barn stars on them. And there is a little tiny hint of pink in some of these as well, just especially on this print, where we've got a little bit of pink detailing on the door and the silo there. And several different types of barns, big ones and little ones. I love a red barn too, Angie. They're so fun. So that comes in the light blue. It comes in this great denim color. And then it also comes in another color. It comes in red. So here we have those dark blue barns, and then of course fireworks all over it. And the vintage trucks on this one are white, and then on this denim color they're red. So you can have a lot of fun fussy cutting these different elements and using on different projects. In fact, one of the projects that I'm going to share in the next couple weeks, I'm going to go back to the front camera, are these flags over here. So these flags are really fun, and I made them up for market, but I'm going to do a little tutorial on them. They're super fast and easy. They use fabric. Here, let me grab one and show you. Without knocking the whole world down. And that was successful, I feel like. So this will be on my website in a couple weeks as a free pattern, but it uses the, prints, and then I fussy cut some of the barns on this pretty linen square, and it's just sewn together. And so I'm going to give you the measurements and info on how to put that all together. But it's a really cute little patriotic display. It's perfect for using up scrap fabrics and then fussy cutting the sweet elements of the barns and the cute vintage trucks. So that's coming soon on the website. So that one will be fun. Let me know if you guys are excited about that. Dolores says she loves barns with barn stars. Yay! We're in the process of getting quotes on building a barn, because we're getting ready to do cattle on our land this year. And one of the big priorities we have is making sure there's space up at the top above the sliding door for a barn star. So it's going to be really fun. Okay, so more fabrics. We have a very cute star fabric. This is on that light background, and some of the stars have some like stitching detail in there. So that's really fun. That comes in the light blue. It comes in red. And then my favorite, it comes in a multicolor. So it's a light background, but then the stars are all different colors. So you can see they have light blue, red, dark blue, gold, and then some of the stars have that little like stitching detail in them. So this looks really cute in blocks. So that is the star print. And then we also have a fireworks print because, patriotic. So our fireworks are all different colors. It's multi-directional, so you can put it in any blocks. And then there is quite a bit of gold sparkle in this one as well. The gold fireworks all have that subtle gold sparkler. Oh, you guys like the flags? Yay! Dolores says she's a neighbor over in Mississippi. We have lots of barn stars on barns and buildings. Yeah, we do too. And Kentucky too, because we're super close to Kentucky. So a lot of barn stars up there too. So the cute fireworks print comes in the darker navy, comes in red, and it comes in that off-white background. So that one's a fun multicolor too, with all the different colors of the of the fireworks. So that is our second to last print. And then to finish things off, you guys know I love a cute plaid or gingham. So this is a fun little gingham on the bias, which makes doing your bindings with this really easy, but it also looks super cute in blocks too, because it isn't so big that you can't really see the detail. So this is kind of our two colors of the blues in this. It's like a dark navy and that denim navy. We also have a gingham in red and navy. Kind of does some weird things to your eyes on the screen, but I promise it looks really pretty in person. And then two shades of red. So this is a little bit hard to tell, but it's a dark red and a medium red. So these all will be perfect for adding to your blocks, but also using for your bindings. And because they're already on the bias, they make using doing your straight binding really, really easy to do. So these are all of our prints from Sweet Freedom. Do you guys have a favorite? What do you love the most? I would love to know. It can be anything from the Barnes to the ginghams. Hopefully you have at least one favorite in the group. So along with that, we have the panel. And you guys might have spotted the panel behind me. I'll show you guys that in just a little bit, but I want to show you the panel this way first. So I created the panel because I wanted a really fun element of the design is the barns, and I wanted to show off those barns and vintage quilts. So this is a big one. I can't show you the whole thing in the overhead camera, but I want to show you kind of the details of it, and then I'll stand back with it so you can see how big it is. But we have a really big barn with a flag on the side that looks kind of hand painted. And if you don't doubt, we do have barns with flags painted on the side, and they're so much fun. And then of course a vintage truck and a cute picket fence with flowers all over it. And then to help you out with this panel, I've added some fun cheater elements, so it looks like you've sewn more of it together than you actually have. So there's patchwork all around the main panel, and then at the top and bottom there are some really cute flying geese. And then the background looks like a smaller version of my Dainty Daisy low volume with the red flowers on the cream background. So it looks really, really cute, and it has all those elements. So you can just cut right up to the flying geese and quilt this as is, or you can use it for my free quilt pattern, which I'm going to show you guys now. Yay! Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you guys like it. The large florals and the barns. Oh, I'm so glad you guys like the florals. I was actually a little bit worried about that, because sometimes with patriotic collections, people really want just the patriotic elements. And I wanted those florals to be in there, so I'm really glad that you guys like those. Okay, so this is my American vintage quilt pattern. So what it does is it takes the barn elements, and you can see that patchwork around there, how it actually looks sewn, and the flying geese. And then it also has borders. So, and this might all come tumbling down, but there are borders with pieced flying geese here, and then some cute barn stars. And this is a free pattern. It's there with the pillows. It's on the Riley Blake Designs website. I have it linked in today's video description, so you can go check that out. And there are a lot of shops that have quilt kits of this. It's the American Vintage Quilt. And I am putting together my list of Sweet Freedom shops. I'll have that for you next week in our video, so that you can check that out if you want to pick up the quilt kits. So it'll have the panel and then everything you need to make the borders and those cute star corners. But I also wanted to show you guys a panel that a friend of mine made for me. It's a panel. It's a pillow. So this is a pillow that my friend Amanda made for me. She is one of my sewists, so she helps me out with sewing, you guys, and she's just a doll. So she took one of the panels and turned it into a pillow. So she just cut basically the barn part and used that for the front of the pillow, and she quilted it with a really cute quilt, like a grid quilting. And then she took the cute element on the back, which is the flying geese, and then pieced some little squares. She even added a little made for you label. And then look how she finished the envelope part of the pillow with this plaid like fold over binding. Isn't that darling? I just want to do all my pillows that way. So thank you, Amy. I wanted to show you guys this pillow as another idea for ways to use the panel. You don't have to put it in a quilt. You can use it as a secondary thing, or you could get the panel and make it up to go with your cute Vintage Stars quilt. So lots of options for you there. Dolores, I have a few of the panels in my shop. I think there's a few in there, so you can pick them up. You can also find them at Happy Little Stitch, and you can, and I have more bolts coming in of the panels. So if you want to pick them up right now, don't wait. Isn't it adorable, Dawn? I love it. It's so fun. So that is Sweet Freedom. We also I have two other quilts in addition to American Vintage that I designed to go with it. One of which we're gonna do as our sew along next. That will start April 29th, which is my birthday. We're gonna have a big party. So this is the really fun Heartland quilt. I'm gonna show you the kit. So this is what the front of the kit looks like. It's got the wavy flag that we're using for the block on this quilt. And here's what the whole quilt looks like. So it's a fun, like waving stars, and you get to fussy cut barns on this one. I'll hold that up so you guys can see it. So the barns are fussy cut in the center of the stars, and it's got some cute flying geese in it. So this will be our next sew along. I have quilt kits. I think they just are here but not in the shop yet, so they're going to get in the shop this week, so you can pick up the quilt kit. I am almost positive Angela from Happy Little Stitch has the kits for this as well, so you can check her shop if you don't want to wait. And then I have another quilt that is called Sweet Freedom, just like the collection, and it's made up of heart flags, and it's kind of similar to our matching needle minder that we have. So that's super fun, and we are really just excited to be making up some quilts with Sweet Freedom with you guys. So I hope that you're excited. Yay! It's going to be such a fun sew along, you guys, and I promise don't let the templates overwhelm you or anything like that. I wanted to give you a sneak peek of a couple other things, one other thing really, before I do this week's giveaways and we finish things up. This kickoff videos are always a little bit shorter, but that's okay. They're so much fun to talk about. Every month I do a $5 pattern of the month. Sometimes I forget to put that info on social media, but it is always in my email list. So if you aren't signed up for my email list, you can find it at the bottom of today's video description. While you're there, make sure you like and subscribe to the video. That helps me a ton. But you can check out my email list. This month's $5 pattern of the month is called Gingham Windows. It is a perfect quilt for a favorite fabric collection. So it uses 10-inch stackers and you sew them into this basically like window format. And then there is a gingham sashing that sets them off. So this is also in my Singing in the Rain fabrics, but I wanted to make it up in something new. So you can pick up this pattern for only $5 this month. You only have about a week left because after the 31st, it'll be a new pattern. That happens every month. So definitely get my email list and follow along for that. But I wanted to show you the prints. I've been working on the blocks. So this is Amanda Castor Material Girl Quilts, her Sweet Tea and Sunshine fabrics. They came out and I just fell in love with them. So I thought they would look super cute. So I'm using her fabrics as the prints, and I'm using my gray iron Dainty Daisy background as the background. So those windows really pop. So I wanted to show you just really quick. I've been working on the windows, and I want to show you some of the cute prints in her collection. So you can find this in stores now, but look at these. I bought the 10-inch stacker from Fat Quarter Shop. So aren't those little mason jars full of flowers so cute? I love it. And then her main floral has really big flowers and cute little bees. She's got like a honeycomb print. These plaids are so good. So, and then this one's one of my other favorite florals of hers. It's just darling. Look at these pretty florals. And it's got a lot of grays in the background, so it goes really well with my gray Dainty Daisies. So I'm just going to scroll through some of the others. There's some more of those mason jars. And then, of course, the peach. Look at that mane. Isn't that beautiful? And it's a little bit hard to tell. They'll be sashing around the windows. I'll show you more next week. But I'm going to use these fabrics as my gingham. So this will be the legs of the sashing, and then this will be the darker blue of the sashing. So on this one, it's the light pink and dark pink. So on this quilt, it'll be the light blue and the dark blue. And I think it'll contrast really pretty with that gray Dainty Daisy fabric. I think it's really gonna pop. So I'm gonna have that to show you guys soon, but that's one of my side projects I'm working on. It's really fun. But if you wanna pick up gingham windows, don't wait, because we only have another week. So by our video next week, we'll have, I think, let me check the calendar here. Yes, the week ends on Sunday. Well, Easter Sunday, right? Yeah, so next week we'll have a new one for our video, but that's okay. So if you want to pick up gingham windows, do that this week. So you guys ready for giveaways? Giveaways are so fun, and they're my way of saying thank you guys for tuning in and being here and just being generally awesome. So our giveaway from last time was a month ago, and you guys have been very patient about that. And it was the last video giveaway for Tea Party, our afternoon tea sew-along that we did. So this is what we have for last time's giveaway. And the giveaways are super easy to enter. All you have to do is leave a comment, and that's your entry. Leave a comment on the video. It's super easy to do. That counts as your entry. You can comment as much as you like, but I draw the winner's name and then announce it the following week. So, and you can do that whether you're watching live like you are now, or later in the week like maybe you are now. And that's super easy. So I have a Sweet Freedom 10-inch stacker. These are all the cute prints from Sweet Freedom that I just showed you guys. And I also have one of my low volume Dainty Daisy 10-inch stackers. So these are just new from, they came out in January. And this includes one or two of each of the colors of Dainty Daisy. Most of them are just one, since there are 30 different colors of Dainty Daisy. Oh, exciting news. I didn't even remember to tell you. We are adding yardage of Dainty Daisy to the shop. I've never carried yardage before. It's a little bit hard to do, but now that I have an employee, you guys met her a few weeks ago. My daughter, Becca, is here working for us now, so that's super fun. So we can branch out a little bit. So this week we're going to be adding Dainty Daisy yardage to the shop. I've ordered in just a little bit of it right now, but I have bolts of every color. So if you're wanting to pick up background fabric of something, or if you want to get pre-cuts, I already have those listed. So watch for that in the shop this week. It's exciting and new. Come aboard. So that is the fabrics we have from the giveaway, and then a vintage quilting template, which you'll need for the vintage stars. Well, you won't need it, but it definitely helps you out. And then the vintage stars quilt pattern. So this is going to help out somebody. Super great on the vintage stars quilt. And our winner from the tea party, the last tea party week, is Nandy Burns. And I saw Nandy's name earlier. I think she's here. I don't know if she's still here, but Nandy, congratulations, you're our winner. If you will please send me an email, bev@flamingotoes.com. I will get your prize out to you this week. So congratulations, Nandy. So for our prize this week, I have a fun bundle for you. I have the Sweet Freedom fat quarter bundle. There are 24 fat quarters in this, so plenty of fabric to make the stars for the vintage stars, or you can use them for whatever project you like. So all of those. And I also have the 2 patriotic needle minders that I have for Sweet Freedom. So this is one of our cute barns with the flag on the side. And then here is our heart flag, which is really similar to that Sweet Freedom quilt I was telling you about. So this is our prize for this week. If you want to be entered, it's super easy. All you have to do is leave a comment. So all those comments you've already left totally count. You're good. Feel free to tell me more things. Okay, so I think that's all the things. If you guys have questions about anything, please leave them in the comments or send me an email, bev@flamingotoes.com. You guys know I'm always happy to hear from you. Check out the shop this week as we add in the Dainty Daisy fabrics and the yardage, and we'll also be adding in those Heartland kits that I showed you for our next sew along that will start on April 29th. You can pick up Vintage Stars pattern or the templates. Make sure you visit Angela from Happy Little Stitch Shop and get your pre-cuts, your patterns, whatever you would like from her. She has a lot of yardage too, so you can pick up border fabric. You can get backing fabric. Speaking of backing fabric, before you guys sign off, I want to make sure, oh, sorry, you guys are saying congratulations, Mandy, and I want to make sure that it's not confusing. It's Nandy with an N. Nandy. So in case, well, you know, has to be the top camera. But in case Nandy missed this, it's an Nandy Burns. It's not going to actually show it to you. There we go. Nandy Burns. So I want to make sure we don't have a Mandy that messages and says, hey, I won. Talking about wide back. So I did design a wide back for Sweet Freedom. There has been a problem at the factory with the fabric, a shortage in the fabric that wide backs are printed on. So that is why the afternoon tea wide backs aren't still here yet. I just saw on the website a notification that it looks like those will be here in June. I'm sorry for the delay on those. You know how it is sometimes with shortages. There's just not anything that you can do about it. So if you are waiting on an afternoon tea wide back, or if you're wanting to quilt a quilt with an afternoon tea wide back, there are some coming. They're just probably not going to be here till June. There are really, really pretty wide backs for Sweet Freedom as well. My assumption is they probably won't be here till June either. So just to give you kind of a heads up, the Sweet Freedom wide back I'll show you a picture of next week if you're wanting to kind of put it in your thinking as far as like maybe you want it. It's a really pretty cheater fabric of like a disappearing 9-star. So it's fun. It's got all kinds of the prints. In fact, I believe you can go on to Fat Quarter Shop and search Sweet Freedom. And you know how in Fat Quarter Shop, if you're not aware, you can, if something's still going to come in, you can put your email in and they'll notify you when it's in stock. So you can do that at Fat Quarter Shop for probably both of the wide backs for afternoon tea and Sweet Freedom. So if you're looking for wide backs, it makes quilting up your quilt so easy. You can check those out. If you don't want to wait for that, then definitely visit Angela at Happy Little Stitch. She's got a lot of yardage, so you can pick up yardage of any of the ones that you like for the backs of your quilts. I think the stars would look really cute, especially the multicolor with the white background, or the fireworks, or you could go with one of the florals, and that would look gorgeous. I'm thinking I'm going to use one of the florals for the back, but I'll show you for sure what I decided on next week. So that's a little something to look forward to. Okay, if you guys have questions about anything, let me know. I cannot wait to start sewing with you next week. We're gonna cut out with our templates our pieces. I'm gonna give you tips for organizing your fabrics so that when we go to sew these rows together, they're super easy and fun to do. So get all your Vintage Stars supplies together this week, and if you are in my Facebook group, show me what fabrics you're going to be sewing along with so we can kind of cheer you on and see what everybody's making their Vintage Stars quilts with. Again, you don't have to use Sweet Freedom if you don't want to. Feel free to sew along with anything you'd like. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I've loved hanging out with you. I'm excited to be on a fun new series of sew-alongs, and I can't wait to see you next week. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.